Let's go, baby! It's Monday. Dude, yeah, Lucas said they took a walk on the beach yesterday, and they were all wearing masks and practicing distancing, and that a group of, 20-year-old kids started, heckling them and making fun of them for wearing masks. And then at one point, one of them was just, putting their towel over their face and laughing and everything. And somebody said, how can you have fun at the beach while wearing a mask? And it's how can you not? What part of enjoying the beach is all of a sudden completely removed by covering your fucking mouth?
How can you enjoy your time at the beach knowing that you could, get sick and die?
Or make someone else sick.
Yeah.
Again, to me, it's always not about you. It's not about how you fucking feel.
Yeah, it's about everyone else that you're around.
It's about how you could make someone else sick, you know?
And especially if the beach is that busy, common sense. Common sense. It's the same thing when I posted this thing about Twitter. It's it's not about you and your rights and your liberties.
Can you imagine how much quicker this fucking country could get back to normal?
We would not be on week 10 of this.
If we didn't have so many goddamn idiots. Just fucking idiots.
There was another video.
Follow the rules!
There was a video that came out from somewhere in the OC. I think it was Dana Point of this woman, and it was funny because the video was labeled, "Oh, look at Karen got mad."
Yeah.
And it was, I think it was a Gelson's, and this worker who was there was like, "Ma'am, I'm sorry, you can't go in without the mask." Yeah. We're requiring masks. We're requiring masks. You can't go in. It's been talked about for fucking 8 weeks at this point, 10 weeks. And she's like, "Well, I can't. I have a condition. I can't wear a mask. Da 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 da. I want to speak to your manager." Manager comes out. Same thing. "Ma'am, I'm sorry. We can't let you in the store with a mask. You have to have I have a medical condition." "No, you have to go into the fucking grocery store with a mask." "Why is that so difficult for you?" "Why? If you have a medical condition, send somebody else."
Yeah.
Or order your groceries. Come on. Just
if you can't wear a mask, does your medical condition have to do with breathing? Then why are you out in the middle of fucking COVID?
Yeah. That's the last thing you should be doing.
I don't know. There's just... My parents run a business in the middle of nowhere, and I was talking to my mom over the weekend, too, and just some of the frustrations they're dealing with and how, it's putting them in this really tough spot because their friends and their local patrons that pretty much make their business able to even stay alive believe it's a Democrat hoax, don't want to follow the restrictions.
Oh, I'm not even going to get into the signage and things that were in Huntington Beach.
Yeah.
I think I showed it to you, didn't I? Yeah, and I'm just come on. What the fuck?
Democrat hoax? Do Democrats somehow have power over the entire fucking world? What?
What are you talking about?
If it's a Democrat hoax, why is India on lockdown?
Why was every country on lockdown?
For fuck's sake. By the way, Democrats aren't in the White House and don't control the Senate. Maybe hold the people in charge responsible. We got the House. Democrats have the House. That's it. They got apparently the most power in the world. The ultimate power to make the whole world bend to their knee, but they can't even win the Senate back.
It's so fucking dumb.
It's so dumb. It's a pandemic. It's affecting the fucking world.
It would be one thing if it was it's only the United States that's closed off. Maybe. I'm even so, I'd be okay, whatever. Every country in the world almost was on lockdown.
Lockdown!
Some countries are still in lockdown. Some barely have started to reopen.
So many people are dying. And so many more would die if we didn't lock down. That is proven. Scientifically fucking proven. It's not up for debate. It's not a goddamn argument. There are things that we can go back and be okay, maybe we learned certain things and we can handle this better. We can handle how businesses operate. We will learn from this and we will grow. Only if we're smart. If we're all fucking idiots and go, well, let's just go back to normal. There isn't. Mm-hmm. There is no normal. It's there now. It's out there. There's no cure for it. So change. Adapt. Isn't that what's supposed to make us special?
Yeah.
Isn't that what's supposed to make us so unique
even
as a country?
And evolving.
You're a fucking capitalist country. If you want to be a true capitalist, fucking adapt. Adapt. Don't complain that, your life is more difficult now. People are dying. Their life and their families' lives are far more difficult than your inconveniences. And I don't want to discredit the people who, of course, if you don't have work, your life can be very bad.
Of course.
And that is very much true. So hold politicians accountable. All right? Make yourself heard. Don't immediately just demand everyone who is lower than you. I mean, look at the stats coming out of California. The majority of people who are getting sick are people of color who have to go to work to provide for people like me. I don't have a goddamn right to complain when I live comfortably. And I have privileges that allow me to live comfortably. And I know some people won't believe that they have those privileges. But if you're at home and you're out of work, also think for a second how it might feel to live with a family that you have to provide for, and you have to go work at that grocery store every day. And you have to put yourself in harm's way from the very start, to survive. You know, like, you can deal. We all are in it together. Mm-hmm. It just pisses me off so much.
Yeah.
It pisses me off so much to see so many people so flippant about this, when people who are in a worse position than you are the most likely to get sick, the most likely to not have insurance, the most likely to not have the proper protections in place to even feel comfortable going to the doctor, to afford time off of work. And you're putting their lives at risk when you go to a fucking restaurant without a mask. It's selfish. It's self-right. It's so fucking selfish. Be better. Be a better human being. If there's a single person in our chat room right now who's like, masks or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's the basic bare fucking minimum of something you can do to just show that you have respect for other people. It's so small and insignificant.
Yep.
It's not asking you to change your entire life. It's asking you to put on a fucking mask, a layer of fabric over your face. That is it. And so many bigger things can be done. But what it's showing us as a culture, when people are against this basic small thing, is that you don't give a fuck. And you will not do the bigger things either. If you can't do the smallest little thing to help other people, Lord knows you're not going to do the big things either.
Yeah.
And we're all fucked.
That, I think, has been the most eye-opening thing that I think a lot of us have learned about a lot of people in these situations is like, great, so you're unwilling to just put on a mask to protect the people around you, strangers, whether you know them or not, doesn't matter, and yourself. What the fuck does that look like if we get into something even worse than this and, like, you're asked to do something even more?
It is worse. I mean, we're being asked to stay home.
Yeah.
It's like wearing a mask is like you're allowed to go out.
Yeah.
Just wear a mask.
Yeah.
It's a minimum. It's not even saying stay in your house on lockdown, which some countries are doing.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
we
Italy
still have rights and privileges here that other countries don't. Certain countries have governments that say, if you go outside, we will arrest you and throw you in jail for endangering the populace. We're not that.
No.
We're not that.
Like, we can still open the garage, walk outside, and go for a walk. Just put on a mask. Like, that's it. That's it. It's so simple. It's so simple. Put on a mask. Stay 6 feet away, at least away from people.
Yeah,
and
we've had numerous people in our community who are essential workers who've said that they've had to deal with people who make fun of them for wearing masks, who yell at them for wearing masks as if they're playing some political game, and they've been working all day for weeks, putting themselves in danger to provide for that individual who's making fun of them. You know, like, how I just can't even imagine my mind being someone that's so, like, fucking, I can't even think of the mindset to go into someone else's business and make fun of them as if they're being a part of some political game by trying to protect themselves while providing a service to them.
Yeah.
While literally providing a service for that individual.
Yeah.
I can't even comprehend it, and I want us to be better. I want us to be better as a country, better as people, to get through this, you know, because it's going to change. The economy is going to change drastically. And
every industry will be affected by all this.
Every industry. That's the way it is.
We're already seeing it. I mean, there's so many companies that are talking about they're going to be working from home for the rest of the year, maybe forever. Who knows? And I think that's going to be something that we're going to see being adapted into every industry. Obviously, our own too.
Oh yeah.
Our industry is literally built on interaction between people.
Yep.
That's going to change drastically, and the way we go about film production and TV production and you know everything, production itself. How, you know, post-production, visual effects people, how they work together in close proximity, like everything. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be wild. Maybe good things will come out of it. It's going to create a lot of obstacles for a lot of businesses. I mean,
a lot of businesses are going to close down.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to lose their jobs. Yeah. It's going to get harder before it gets better. But the only way we can get out of it quicker is to have some fucking forethought that if we hold on to these base things now, we can reduce the spread, hold it off, and we can hopefully save lives, which means that this has less of an impact on the economy, your long term. And I know that's hard to tell people when you're hurting now.
Yeah.
When you're hurting now, that's really hard to tell people. But it's the truth, you know. And the longer we let this go on, the more we drag it out, the worse this is going to be for the whole country.
Yeah.
For the rest of the year, you know.
Yo, we don't want to be in this garage forever.
We don't, you know. And
I want to go breathe some air, like in a different state.
I know, right?
You know, and it's like, yeah, even the factor of traveling, I get a little stressed when I see photos of people on planes and like, yeah, they're all wearing masks, but it doesn't change the fact that they're all sitting like shoulder to shoulder.
Breathing the same air.
Yeah, you know, like that's
I'm telling you, man,
stressful.
the stuff that like stresses me out the most are the people that are getting re-sick on the Navy ships. You know, like people who tested negative after having tested positive and then getting sick again. That stuff's terrifying. It's terrifying to know that you can get reinfected. Yeah. You know, and yeah, they haven't released the official data on like, okay, was the first time like not very bad and the antibodies didn't build up, or is it that the antibodies build up but it doesn't matter? You know, like we don't know. Yeah. We don't know.
Yeah, and like as someone who to this point, I am going to assume because I have had zero symptoms that like I haven't caught the virus or anything. Yeah. I am not willing to play that game of chicken. Like, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to be sick. Like, nobody. Why would you want to be? Why?
Yep. Just wear a mask. It's the bare minimum. It's the bare minimum that you could do to show that you're not a piece of shit and that you actually care about other human beings.
Yeah, and just be respectful to fucking
It's not asking you to give up your life savings to someone who's worse off than you. It's just saying put on a damn mask. That's it. It's the simplest request. It's so not difficult. And just think of like if we as a culture adapt to that idea, how many lives you'll save in the long run. Right. Flu seasons will be less bad. Yeah. You know, like less people will die just from the flu if we adapt better practices. And you know, I would hope that we could think maybe there's something positive we can take out of this. But instead I'm seeing like this negative where people act like it's some sort of rebellious right to not have to wear a mask when I'm being told to. Yeah. It's like smokers, I guess. And like how long did it take for people like to finally understand like when you're smoking and breathing on everyone else with your smoke, it affects them. It doesn't matter about what you want to do.
Secondhand.
It's you're breathing that smoke on everyone else. You know, and how many years it take for the culture to be like, yeah, I guess that sucks and we don't want to do that.
I mean, like, I'll be totally honest, I grew up in that environment of secondhand smoke, and it took until like a few years before, you know, people started paying attention that it was like, oh, we should not do this. Yep. We should not put other people on, you know, in these circumstances.
And so Kate Suki says, I don't wear masks because of my severe asthma. You are the type of person that is exactly why everyone else should be wearing a goddamn mask. Because if you have severe asthma, you are highly, highly at risk for COVID to be detrimental to you. Just like my wife who has asthma. You know, like, that's why. And I would say for those individuals, if you can't wear a mask because it's hard to breathe because you have those kinds of breathing problems, you probably shouldn't be going out. And you shouldn't be going out and about because you're at a high risk. And it's super dangerous. But we have some other things to talk about before we just go down this long train of absolute disappointment in my fellow man. I am the disappointed dad of this country right now. I'm just so upset with you all. Not you in particular. The fucking idiots I see in Brentwood. Jesus Christ. That made me so mad.